What's up, guys? Coach Tony from Bomvex Strength, and today I'm going to talk about lower trap raises, an exercise that I find myself prescribing to a bunch of my lifters whenever they run into pain in the front of their shoulder, in their bicep, anything kind of shoulder related. And what we find over and over and over is that when people run into shoulder pain while powerlifting, it can oftentimes be traced back to what's happening at the front of the shoulder because of what's happening at the shoulder blade. And your lower traps, the two muscles that kind of run in a V shape to the inside of your shoulder blades, tend to be the ones that are not functioning the way that we want to. Maybe they're not strong enough. Maybe it's just a motor control thing and people aren't aware of how to set their shoulders in the right position. But we find that lower trap raises will often relieve that pain and build up that strength necessary to keep our shoulders where we want when we bench heavy and even when we squat heavy, because it's a pretty similar position. So you've got three different trap muscles. So we've got our upper traps, which kind of run right along our neck. We've got our middle traps, which are kind of the traps that we think of when we do like a shrug. And then your middle traps live kind of on the inside of your shoulder blades. Those are the ones that we want to target with trap raises. So a bunch of different ways that you can train this, but the simplest way that I like to train it is from a bent over or one arm dumbbell row position. So you grab yourself a pretty light weight. I'm going to use 10 pounds here, but a lot of our lifters can get away with just using 2.5 or 5 pounds. And you can set up one of the two ways that you would do a normal one arm dumbbell row. We can either set up in a hinge position with our hands supported like so, or we can even go with a knee and a hand on the bench for a little bit more stability. I'm going to show you the first one because it's a little bit easier to see on camera. So what I want to do here, get in my dumbbell row position and then set my back in a similar position to what I would deadlift. So certainly not rounded like this, but not hyperextended either, just kind of right in the middle. And it's really simple from here. Step one, I'm just going to make my arms short by drawing my shoulder blade towards the middle of my back like this. So it's not a shrug. I'm not cranking down and back with my lat, but I'm just kind of moving my shoulder up in space to the middle of my back. And then I'm going to lift my weight up in a Y shape, kind of splitting the difference between an I and a T. So an I would be straight out to the front. A T would be straight out to the side. For our trap raises, we just want to split the difference. So that Y shape right there, I want to get nice and high so I'm parallel to the ground. And as I do this, I should feel this smack dab in the middle of my back between my shoulder blades. If I'm feeling it kind of up in my traps, I might be lifting too much to the front. If I feel it in the front of my shoulder, chances are that you're cranking your shoulder down and back too much with your lat. You don't want to set your lats like you would in a deadlift. Remember, we're just drawing our shoulder blade to the middle of our back, not down into our back pockets. So if you do it right, you'll feel it right between your shoulder blades. And this is a really great exercise to strengthen the lower traps, which are largely responsible for keeping our shoulder blades tucked in the position that we want when we bench and when we squat heavy. Great exercise to do as part of a warm-up. You could do it to try to build strength in those muscle groups later on in the workout. Lots of different applications for trap.